This is a building block. The size is 390 by 200 by 150 millimeters, popularly known as 9 by 6. These are our normal bricks that we have everywhere. Bricks. The sizes are 200 by 130 millimeters by 75 millimeters. Then on this side, we have these normal river sand. We have cement. We have hoop iron. We have water and the tools of trade. Welcome to Gen Z today. Don't go anywhere. Just spare the few minutes with us as we build the different walls for you to see. Then at the end of towards the end of the show, we'll put a price tag on each and every item. Now, we have to know that there are also other assumptions, there are also other variables. So the price may be different from your location and my location. But the concept is the same and the math is the same. By the way, 1 plus 1 in Luo is 2, 1 plus 1 in Kikuyu is 2, 1 plus 1 in Giriama, in Kalenjin, it's just 2. So what you'll do is just to get the quantity of the materials that we'll have used. Then you do the price according to your area. Then you're able now to calculate the square meter of the house. Or through that, you're able also to know the cost of building a brick house as compared to a block house. Another thing that I want us to know is that this is a block that is commonly nowadays made all over the country. In Kisumu, the price of one block is the same as the price of machine cut stone. Yeah, but we normally prefer nowadays to use blocks also because also the technology has increased a lot, has improved a lot, and the quality of the blocks that nowadays they make are very, very good. They even use hardener. In fact, the plumbers and electricians normally have a problem when they are doing their pipe work. But also the same we can still say for the stones. So what we also need to know is that although these are blocks, the size of this block is the same as the size of machine cut that normally we expect to have, whether in Darugo, Nairobi, whether in Nakuru or wherever that you have the block the machine cuts. So for me is that you also just have an open mind. We will try our best to control the elements of the materials so that even at the end of the day, maybe there'll be maybe 10 plus or minus error, but that one should not, be an issue because even the quantity surveyors, when they do the BQ, normally they give you that error. Sometimes you'll find breakages, there are wastages, sometimes the transport increases, sometimes you're given discount, sometimes you end up, maybe getting a fundi who cannot use the material well. So there are all those variables here and there. But for me today, at the end of the day, that you must know that, okay, roughly these are the number of blocks that are used per square meter, generally anywhere in the country, same with the machine cut. For the bricks also, the same. You also need to know that some people also make very big bricks. Some people make also bricks that are almost the same size as the blocks. So for us today, we are going to concentrate on the standard size bricks and standard size blocks. Yeah, so now what we are doing, we are we are going to use the ratio of 1 to 3. That is, in this case, we are using batching by weight. We have batching by weight and batching by volume. So that tin you're seeing, we've measured it's 1 kg. So we are going to mix 10 kgs of cement and 30 kgs of sand. As you can see, that is sand down there. Yeah, that is sand. So we we are trying to get our measurements as accurate as possible. Um, there may be variables here and there, but we've tried to control them so that our results at the end of this video should be as accurate as possible. Even if there is an error, will just be a small margin of error. I'm an error of margin. Yep. But as we said, 1 plus 1 is 2. So if you're using 10 kgs in Kisumu, we are going to use the same 10 kgs in Murang'a, in Kakamega, in West Pokot, unless there's a special reason why you may want to use different measurements, unless maybe if you feel you want more concrete mortar, maybe more cement into your mortar, maybe you want it to be stronger than this, but this one is normally the standard. Yeah, so that's what we are using, and we are mixing. Remember, also mixing is an art, so you also have to mix it thoroughly and make sure that the cement has mixed well with the sand. Yeah, we are now mixing water. We'll see also the quantity of water that we'll have used at the end of the day. Yeah, so mix water. And our mason today is called Collins. Collins, please wave to the viewers so that they can see you. uh, our mason today is called Collins Otieno. Yeah, so Collins Otieno has been with us right from college at Kisumu Polytechnic. He did internship with us or attachment, and he's still with us. So we also try our best to mentor as Ujenzi today, so that also we can improve the lives of everybody, both our workers and also our clients. What Collins is doing now, Collins is pouring water on the surface where he wants to start building the wall. The importance of this is that you must, when you're using cement-based product, you must wet the ground, so that if you don't do that, when you put the mortar on that dry surface, normally the dry surface is like it pulls the water from the mortar. Then hence weakening the mortar by causing cracks. So anytime you're building, whether you are putting a stone on top of another stone, or you are doing on top of a slab, always we say that even plaster, you must wet the surface so that the dry surface doesn't pull water from the mortar, thereby creating air voids and later causing cracks. So this one, because it's a sample that we are using, we've not put a DPC. Ordinarily, you don't just build on top of the ground surface. So please understand that bit. I know people start saying, "Yeah, I'm Jeka DPC," but our main aim today is just to know the cost of the wall. For DPC, that is dam proof course, we also have another content to talk about that. Thank you. So I told you that I was going to tell you something about the mortar. Most fundis, most masons, if you go everywhere, they believe that the more mortar you put, the stronger the bond. The more mortar you put, the more the wall will be strong. That one is a lie. and that is just the Juakali way. That's in the construction industry we have the right standard way of doing things. Then there's also the Juakali way, which sometimes may be good, but most of the time it doesn't end well. It doesn't come out well. So we are going to use 25 millimeters. Sorry, that is 1 inch. So once you've gotten your strong mortar, once you've used the ratio of 1 to 3, and you've used either by batching or by volume, it means that even if you do the 1 inch, you'll still have a strong bond between the stones. That is very important for us to know that 1 inch is just good enough. And if you get a fundi who is properly trained and also who has experience, he won't struggle with that 1 inch. Most fundis struggle with that because they say, oh, I want to balance the stone, I want to get my levels. Of course, sometimes it may be a challenge, especially when you're dealing with the quarry stones. Those uncut stones, like maybe when you're doing a foundation. So you find that the stones are not the same size or they're not dressed well. So you may be forced to use mortar, uh, maybe a thicker mortar in some sections as compared to other sections. But today, since we are using the blocks and using the bricks, and they are more or less the same size, we really don't want to do it differently. We just want to stick to some similar parameters like what we are doing now. As you can see, that is now the last course, and we have been doing the filling for the last joint. Remember, this joint, as we said, it's 1 inch. That is 12 millimeter of the mortar joint for the wall. That is basically the height of the wall. The height. Yeah. And now we are now cutting on the brick wall. The ratio of the cement to sand is the same. That is 1 to 3. 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand. Then we mix them well with water, as you can see. Then the usual process is done. Do water on the ground to avoid the dry surface from drawing water from the mortar, thereby spoiling the quality of the mortar. Here also, we are also doing the 1 inch joint. That is 1 inch joint of mortar. Yeah, this is just to help us in the comparison so that we can see the difference in terms of mortar for the brick wall and for the block wall. The joint also, we are doing the same. We're also putting on hoop iron. In this case, we were putting them after every 2 courses, just to help us in spreading the load and avoid point load and things like cracks. The process is the same. We avoid straight joint as usual. Do the mortar, fill it well, make sure that it's evenly spread so that you can get the same results that we want compared to what we have with the block wall. As you can see, the wall is really coming up. We've also added an additional mortar, the one that we had done initially for 10 kg. We've already finished. This is now the finished wall. From here, you can even roughly count the number of bricks that we have. But at the end of the show, we'll show you now what we have done. We've built the brick wall, we've built the block wall, that is the 1 square meter. You see now we've done it, the entire process from the inception to the completion. Now let's do the calculation and see the costs of the individual items per wall. Then at the end of the day, we'll see which one is cheaper. As you can see from your screen, this is the cost of 1 square meter of a brick wall. So you see the size of the brick that we are using. The first column there shows you that 1 square meter of a brick wall will take 48 pieces of bricks. They're at a cost of 11 shillings per brick. For cement, we'll use 13 kgs for 1 square meter of the brick wall. For the same square meter, we'll use river sand, 41.2 kgs. Hoop iron will use 2.6 meters, because we're going to use them after every 3 courses. So there we are using double. Then for water, we'll use 20 liters. And then labor will use 288 shillings on assumption that a good mason together with unskilled labor will build 300 pieces of bricks per day. This one brings us to a total cost of 1,291 shillings and 38 cents. So this is the cost of building 1 square meter of a brick wall, yeah, excluding other things like running cost and VAT, for the contractor. Now when you look at the block wall, the same size 1 square meter, we are having 11.5 pieces of the blocks per square meter. Then for cement, we are also having 11 kgs for the same square meter. River sand, we are having 34.8 kgs. Hoop iron, we are having 1.16 meters. That's basically after every 2 courses, then you have the hoop iron. So since we have about 4 or so courses, we ended up using just one, maybe let me just say one line. And for water, you'll have 17 liters of water. Then labor will, assuming again a good mason with one unskilled, to build 150 blocks per day. So we are getting 138 shillings per square meter. This one brings us to the total cost of building 1 square meter of a wall at 1,389 shillings and 76 cents. In conclusion, we are basically saying that the brick wall is cheaper than the block wall, and of course, the difference may even be bigger, especially if, as we've said, if the transport cost is eliminated. Maybe you are getting it near where your site is. Most of the price difference come as a result of number one factor normally is the transport, and then number two, of course, is the materials basically used for that that brick or that block. In this case, you'll find that if the brick is being manufactured near your home, so you may use very or no transport at all to bring it to your site. Or if you're manufacturing the brick yourself, it may be cheaper, or if you're manufacturing the block yourself, it may be cheaper. But assuming that you're buying them, and assuming that you're going to use the brick or the block, at least now what you know, first of all, you know the number of bricks that 1 square meter will take. Even if we leave about the transport, or even if we leave the overall cost of the brick and the block, at least you know that now if you want to do 1 square meter, when you're calculating the number of bricks or the number of blocks for your house, now you have the measurements there. The quantities are the same, as we said. The quantities doesn't change. It is the price that changes. So this one is still will go a long way in helping you to determine the quantities of materials for your work. From our calculation, we can see that the brick wall is cheaper by around 98 shillings and 38 cents. This means that a brick wall is cheaper overall. And viewers, we welcome you again, and continue supporting us, continue watching. I will continue bringing you more of this very educative, informative, and very practical tips and use in the construction industry. Please subscribe and like our video. Thank you.